following podcast may contain a dash of popular profanities.
Live, is it? Jeez, I'm really fucking loud. Fucking loud. Jeez, I'm really fucking loud. Fucking loud. Now, am I better? I can hear myself. How about that?
Supposed to be a half-hour show. The freaking intro takes 5 minutes. Ow!
Just making all the time.
Right.
Better pick it up.
It's my phone.
Hello.
Okay, so Kyle's on here in the booth. Keith Lepage.
Yo.
Stinky's here as well.
Is this what we got? Is this a soft opening right now?
That is the end. I mean, no. We have a half-hour show. We got to get going here. We're already like 3 minutes into it because of the opening song.
All right.
If you wonder what happened,
what are we doing here?
Wait a minute. Let me.
No, you wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. Of course, we've been working on a movie, Stinky's movie.
We have,
and we can't tell you. Well, I think we're allowed to say we were working on it. I just don't think we could say what it is or who, anything or anything else.
Right.
Because of the waivers we signed with Stink. But let's just say that he's not the easiest person to work with. And this was supposed to be, like a 2-week shoot? And it's been, 3 years?
Something like that.
And I got to tell you, we got to finish this show because it's hot in here, because it's January. And if you hear the snow blowers outside, it's because it's very snowy and hot. Right?
Unusually warm for January.
Isn't it? Is this January?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It is January. Well, Merry Christmas. Getting ready for Halloween. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm here. I'm Wiggly. Kyle's here. He's Kyle.
I'm here.
And this show, I just found out, is called Pick of the Buck. Pick of the Buck.
I'm sorry. What is it called?
It's called Pick of the Buck.
Pick of the Buck.
No, Pick a D-Buck.
E-Buck.
Pick a D-Buck. Pick-a-D-Buck. And it all has hyphens.
Good luck finding us, everybody.
You can play along. Well, it's called We Talk Games.
If you're listening right now, you win.
It's called We Talk Games Pick-a-D-Buck. Because, you have a buck, okay?
Yeah.
And you want to put $1 in one of these slot machines that you play the video games on. And you're like,
right.
Well, I got to pick what game I want to put my buck into. So it's Pickety-Buck. So you can play at home, too. If you're in the office, what you do is you write your name on a dollar bill. And you can do this in the arcade. Write your name on a dollar bill. And
if you find an arcade, you win.
And put it in the arcade, the dollar bill with your name on it. And then if someone else goes in there and they get a dollar bill and has your name on it, you get all that dollar.
Sure.
So, and then...
And you were worried we weren't going to make a half hour.
I was. Well, we're almost there. So that's good. So each week, Stinky or we, either Kyle, this week I picked for the opening act. Because I want people to tune in again. And I felt that if we did Wall Street today, then no one would ever listen again.
I know I wouldn't.
Right. Well, we wouldn't listen to the music, that's for sure, unless you want to commit suicide. Then it's a great game. Wall Street, a great game to commit suicide to.
It should come with a pillow or a noose.
It should come with a psychiatrist, except if you're Tom Cruise.
Is that what we're talking about today?
Wait! There's buzzing. Is that in them, Keith? Okay. We're talking about the game that I picked.
Okay.
We won't be talking about Wall Street for another 2 weeks, probably.
All right.
And that one Stinky picked.
Gotcha.
In the future.
Hey, let's start over.
Merry Christmas, everybody. So if you want to play along at home, besides doing the arcade, you can, if you're at work, this is great if you're at work, right? Have everyone write their name on a dollar bill. Friday is on a $5. And then put that all in a hat. And then you take it to your boss and you have them pick a dollar out of the hat. And if it has your name on it, you win the hat full of dollars. And you can go to the strip club. Now, is there cursing on this Pickety-Buck? I don't know, because we've been away for so long. Oh, Rambo!
We're not going to be able to review some of these games without cursing.
That's probably Accurate.
Explicit tag needed.
All I know is that I told Stinky we will not be revisiting the Fonz game. Although I might talk about the Fonz Halloween costume. Let's, if I can keep my mind off of toys enough, we still have about 20 minutes to go. We're going to dedicate that to probably the best game that I could come up with. And that is called, it's from 1998. It's by Psikyo, I'm going to call them. I don't know if you pronounce it Psycho or Psikyo. In Japanese, it would be Psikyo, but in American, you would say Psycho. You remember them? They made like that PlayStation game from. Is that ticking, Keith? Where's that ticking coming from? What? Oops, I lost you. Okay, now you're back. The studio's, a shambles, as you can imagine.
Sure.
Do I blow into this thing? Remember they made that game where you fly around in 3D and it's like Toshinden. But you fly around inside of an invisible shield rectangle and shoot at each other with, your people.
No.
And you throw laser beams at them.
I don't remember this.
Okay, well, anyway, they made that, and of course they're very well known for their shooters, and especially their vertical shooters. I'm not even sure if they make horizontal shooters. They might. But this is a game from 1998, and I thought that John E Capcom would like it. Is he still alive, John E Capcom?
I believe so.
And is everybody else that was on the show still alive? Because if someone died, some of them died.
Some of them did die.
I had a feeling that some would die. But this game, I thought Johnny Capcom would like it because we both love the Space Invaders 95.
Yes.
Which is more of the Parodius of Space Invaders. You fight the cartoony characters.
Yep.
It's wonderful. But this, if you saw this, it's called Space Bomber, and you might think, it's just Space Invaders 95. Well,
are you recording this in the middle of the street?
Yeah, that's Santa. He's late. What happens in January? My birthday? It's my birthday horn. 3D smiley face greets you. Now, probably one of the ugliest 3D. You're right. Otto. One of the ugliest opening graphics you'll ever see because.
Is that Peter Weller in the beginning? Or?
I thought it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right. Maybe it's a combination.
Judge
of both
Reinhold.
It's a combination of everybody that you would think might play general or a president. I don't know. But anyway, it's a smiley face talking to the Schwarzenegger, I'm going to call him. And the 3D smiley face says, you, my friend, give me Earth. And Arnold, of course, replies, no, go to star.
Yeah,
and
move every zig.
Go to star. And then the smiley face, of course, replies, why not? And that's the opening. But the graphics for it are done in MS Paint, I think.
Yeah, they're weird. Aliens are invading Earth.
Of course.
That's basically what we're trying to get to.
Yes.
And then we got a vertical shooter to defeat them.
Yes, Space Bomber Scramble. I think since we're doing arcade games, I have a feeling that a lot of these are going to be vertical games. Yeah. So now you got a vertical tabletop, right?
Correct.
Oh, fantastic. And now that is a legitimate one that came with the Namco set or something.
It's a JAMA board. It's a JAMA arcade board. It's a JAMA board. Yeah, 1 in 60 board. You can buy that for $200 or $300 and build your own cocktail table.
I see. Now,
I got the cocktail table with all the graphics.
You know why they call it a cocktail table? Because of the height. You say your cocktail on there.
Right.
And your
rim
balls.
shot.
Okay, I'm glad we could curse on here. This is wonderful.
Yes.
So Space Bomber,
about this fucking game already.
Space Bomber Scramble. Earth is being invaded, as you mentioned, by space bombers, of course.
Adorable little space bombers.
They are so cute. But
the style is kind of like that of when this came out. You said 98.
Yes.
All right, so this is around the same time as you were getting the Sonic 3D Blasts or the Donkey Kong Country sort of like 32X era of sprites and polygons being mashed together.
Well, yeah, actually they're pre-rendered.
Pre-rendered, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
And if we want to keep it in a shooting genre, then I'd say Polestar, the Neo Geo games.
Right.
That came out that were in that similar vein. Oh, and the new isometric gimmick. So, like you mentioned, it's a two-player game. It's a vertical. shooter, and you have the 3D pre-rendered graphics. It takes place at historic places around the world. You start out in New York with the Empire State Building. You have Central Park.
You got the towers, and you got the Empire State Building as well.
Yeah, the Twin Towers, which is, of course, you cry a little on that. And then you travel around the globe to the artifact places.
Right.
As the story progresses. Yes, there's actually cutscenes.
I don't know if you could call it a story. As the game progresses.
Well, yeah, but Arnold and what's his name? Gilbert?
Judge Reinhold, Peter Weller.
No, the smiley face.
Otto from Berserk.
Yeah, Otto.
Or Frenzy.
Or Frenzy, right. Yeah, exactly. This is a really awesome game. As you mentioned, cute bosses. You fight things like a garbage can.
I love the garbage can.
And then some of these end-level bosses will have multiple stages. And when you defeat the first stage of the garbage can, he turns into the head of Great Mazinga.
Ultron or something.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
it was known as Transor Z here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no
Forgive
problem.
me. I've committed a social faux pas.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, you know what's cool? I like the characters from Batteries Not Included flying around, and you're blowing them up, too.
They're there. Of course, the dog heads from Minecraft are in this.
Yes.
And
you got some squids.
You fight a giant pig. You grab money bags. And
but time out.
Time out. Call off the cops.
Yeah, you're approaching this all wrong because if you don't know how to play this game, you never see the money bags. Because my first experience playing the game through up to the third world was just shooting the enemies, and I'm like, okay, this is just a basic vertical shooter. There's a nice variety of enemies. It's starting to get a little repetitive, and why are there so few power-ups? There's these little circles with the letter P that'll drop down, and you hit them, and you get a more powerful shot, and then you get the double shot, and then there's nothing else after that.
Hit B!
So I was like, this is pretty shallow waters with this game.
Hit the B
Then
button.
I realized, I got a claw.
Yeah.
So the claw comes out, you grab enemies, and you can grab 3 of them, and then you can take the enemy and you can throw them up at other enemies to cause a chain combo of destruction. And that's when you see the money bags come down. The other thing you can do by grabbing these enemies is using them against other enemies, because they all have little sort of quirks about what they can do when you use them. Some of the UFOs do a spray with lasers. There's a turtle you can grab to set up as shields a la Space Invaders.
Yeah, it's Gamera.
Yeah, sure. There's also a fossil shell.
Wait a minute.
That you can grab.
What type of turtles go flying around in circles with their body pulled up inside? Yeah.
Okay. You can also grab a fossil shell, and when you throw it up at the enemy, it spins slowly through them, causing damage. So there's a lot more game than what would appear at the surface. What's difficult with this show is we're going to be talking about not the mainstream, the odds and ends, the weird of the arcade. So it's imperative that you figure out the controls, because you might miss out on it.
Right.
I played the game for a good 45 minutes, completely missing out on the whole claw gimmick. It's hard with some of these games to find the cabinet art, to see what the control layout was.
Yeah.
So you got to do a little bit of research. But I thought this game was a lot of fun, especially once I learned that gimmick of the money bags.
Right. And that grab, there's other games, of course, Kirby is probably the one most people know, but this happened in Robotech for the Super Nintendo. You were able to grab your opponent's ships and then use their power-ups. This one, like you mentioned, a little bit different. You don't gain the power of the ships, but you can use the enemies against other enemies. And then you do that by holding down the A button.
I will say that the game up until the third world is pretty easy. There's a low barrier of entry with this game. The third world on, it starts to get increasingly more difficult. I wouldn't classify it as a bullet hell game, but there was definitely certain points where it felt like that, where it was just I can't get out of the way of all of this mess.
Well, definitely the bosses stage is where you get the usual bullet hell type of experience, where you have to figure out the pattern to dodge the boss's barrage.
Yes.
Great cutscenes throughout. One of the things I wrote down was Smiley says He in trouble. Activate the ruins. Call
Yes.
reinforcements to Earth. And then Arnold says, there are some ancient ruins in that direction. What have they got up their sleeves? I don't know.
Some great
Nothing
dialogue.
really. I mean, you go to the
The face doesn't even
lines.
have sleeves.
Right. You do the spaceships.
No.
None of the characters are dressed. And then there's also that frog head
Yep.
enemy. And like you mentioned, the enemies do get repetitive. Sometimes they'll just have a slightly different angled view of the character, or sometimes it'll just be a palette swap.
Palette swap, and sometimes they'll put a hat on them. They put a hat on the smiley faces at one point. But I think that for fans of vertical shooters, I'd recommend this game. I think it's fun. It's definitely a hidden gem. I don't think many people know about it. And like I said, if you're aware of the depth of the game, it can give you a good hour or two of enjoyment.
It does follow the Space Invaders type of formula in that you're going to eventually get to the end, which Space Invaders does not do. Never mind, because that just turns over. But your goal, you ultimately fight the mothership in the end, which is not a spoiler. This is you're heading towards that the entire game. You're fighting these space aliens.
And let me just go on record as saying that this game has my favorite aesthetic of a UFO, which is that hubcap looking type UFO with the 4 domes on the bottom.
Yep.
You saw that a lot in Japanese games. I don't know if it's based on anything from, cultural significance, but I love the way that UFO looks.
Yes, definitely. And, that's another thing is that it's very Japanese, and you might see, okay, I'm starting out with the Japanese typical octopus thing. This is
You got
just gonna
sushi
be
flying around on the screen.
another game like this. I've played these cute games before. Now, I love them, but some people might be getting tired of them.
I think this was a little deeper than Space Invaders 95.
It is deeper. It is not just cute and funny things happening. It's your ship can. We failed to mention this. Your ship can go the entire screen as well, so you can take your ship all the way to the top of the screen. You're not limited to a certain area, so you can fly around the bosses,
which is imperative for some boss battles. You can't just stay on the lower third.
And you can also play this game just trying to collect money bags. Like you can play it just grabbing your enemies, except to when you get to the bosses for the most part. And you can just grab your enemies, throw them up there so that they fire, or throw them out at the other enemies, and just try to collect as many money bags as you can. So there's a lot of different ways that you could play this. The graphics, also the backgrounds are I think are fantastic. I think that there's animation going on in the background. It has a really neat feel. The characters themselves, the ships and the weird things that you fight, are all very well animated. Lots of frames of animation. The only thing that is not spectacular about this game, I think, is the main ship. Unlike other cutesy Japanese games, you can't choose a funny-looking ship. You're always going to be that
gray hot dog.
Yeah, Space 1999 or something. I don't know. It's sort of like that.
Very uninspired main ship.
But it's okay, because that's not what the main focus of this title is.
No.
So I like it.
I like it as well.
Okay, so we give it 3 pick of the bucks out of.
Yeah, I'll learn how to say this eventually.
What do we do on this program? Pick of the buck. Okay, very good. Here we go. Now we're going to play pick of the buck between you and I, and let's see. Oh, I win. I win at $2. There we go. That's how you pick of the buck. One thing I do know about this Pick of the Buck show is that we're going to be picking games, I think, like this one in particular. You might see this and think it's Space Invaders or Space Invaders 95. And then it's another form of that, but they went deeper with it in different directions than what it might initially look like. And I think that's what we're going to be covering, at least the near future.
Yeah, the deep cuts of the arcade.
Right. So we want to know what you think of
Space Bomber.
Ninth Space Bomber. So get in a time machine, go to Japan, and play Space Bomber, and let us know what you think about it. We want to get your comments. Comment on our message board at sandwich.hatpropeller.org.gov. Now, if you don't find it right away,
Try WeTalkGames.com.
Go to We Talk Games, because I think that site might be shut down, the We Talk Games. I'm not sure, but go there. It's easy to sign in. How easy is it? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Facebook? Do you have the Microsoft thing? Do you have
Can I sign in with my Vine?
No.
Oh.
But you can sign in with just about every other damn thing that's out there. So do it, friends. Do it. And pick some type of space bomber as your icon. What do you call that? Your avatar. Yeah. Jinx. So let's tease a little bit about
email.
What can they
email to?
Email to stinky@wetalkgames.com.
All right.
Yeah. And he will be sure to tell me to read them. Now here's your weekly pro player tip. Maybe.
Magic Suck will connect you.
Magic Suck.
Hey everybody, I'm John E Capcom, back to give you another pro player tip. And basically this week's game will be Space Bomber. I've been playing Space Bomber and trying not to sue anyone for the obvious copyright infringements in play. As you can clearly see, James Cameron ripped off the plot of Space Bomber for his 2009 film Avatars, where space bomb and humans exploit Thundercats for bags with dollar signs on them. Also, if you want to play as a Tetris block, after inserting a credit, press up 3 times, down 3 times, and up 7 times. Anyway, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Johnny Capcom. My Tumblr is funwithmonsters.tumblr.com, and my comic, my wrestling webcomic, is just put Ring Psychology Comic into Google, and you'll find it no problem. Also, I appear on Sidecast, but only listen to that if you're really fucking grown up. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.
So let's tease the next show a little bit. We don't want to give it away, because if you play them, then why even listen to us?
I guess.
Yeah. So, what do we think about? What are we going to review for next show next month? Next week?
Next week.
Next week? Is that what it is?
A weekly show. We're delivering a weekly show.
Oh my God!
I know.
Forget it.
It's kind of stacked.
Oh,
it's like mini stacked.
Yeah, but I mean, I okay.
It's a stacked schedule.
Yeah, it is a stacked schedule. And so, what's the teaser?
Insects.
Okay. I'm gonna say what?
Don't fucking ask me.
No, I can say my own. I can say my own teaser.
All right.
I'm gonna say nipple. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for listening to the We Talk Games Pickety Buck show. It's a dumb name.
Yeah,
isn't it called Old Time Gamer?
I think I'm going to quit this show already.
Well, it's called Pick It a Buck, so deal with it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining in. For me and Stink and TT somewhere, I don't know where anybody is. And all our other friends in We Talk Games, maybe we might bring them on here sometime. But I doubt it. Okay, I hope you like us. Bye-bye.
Bye.